Yeah, good morning, everybody. Can online people hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Chansha Teja, today you did not come to college, online?
Yes, sir, I am in Kakinada, sir.
Okay, for Pongal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I hope many people join. Okay, we'll just carry on. Application of derivatives you have to do. In yesterday's exam, if you have any doubts, you can ask tomorrow. I sent the solutions. If you did not get time to look at it, today you go through it. Tomorrow we'll discuss it. Any doubts? Okay. At least for maths, I think solutions I sent. I'll check. Okay, so today, this week we have to do application of derivatives basically. Rate measure, tangents and normals, maximum, minima, everything. I think with this weekend, that is with this module, I can say this week and next week put together, we are supposed to complete the full first year, isn't it? Right? Okay. So, where is 2D coordinate system is not there, in any track? In this week last, maybe after maximum minima, after this module last. Okay, fine. But what you are learning in the other track this week is very, very important. Vector algebra and 3D geometry. Okay. Because at least differentiation, somewhere you are using an integration. You might have not forgotten. Whereas vector algebra and 3D geometry is forgotten long time back. All right. That is because we are not using while in other chapters that much. All right. So please spend enough time and vector algebra, 3D geometry put together. I think 3 questions will come in the exam. Okay. So and they're not difficult if you focus. Okay. All right. So please pay enough attention to that also. Of course, including these topics. Okay, rate measure, I don't have to tell so much theory. Okay, it is in physics also you'll be using this notation that when a quantity x depends on time or some other quantity y, or y depends on x, as you change x, y will change. So dy by dx gives you instantaneous rate of change. For a small change in x, what is the change in y that is produced, and what is the ratio of that change? Okay. So rate measure, errors and approximation topic is there in IP but not there for mains and advanced. So you don't have to worry about errors and approximation. Rate measure is only a question. Okay. Maybe I'll discuss few questions in rate measure, then I'll discuss theory about tangents and normals when they come near there. Together we might have given as application of derivatives. Yeah, page number 38. Okay, I'm just starting with the third question, but this third question has to be read very carefully. What is that? There is a balloon, its volume is 4,505 cubic meters. Okay, that is the sphere. But we should not take that as the volume because they said there is a leak in the balloon and per minute 72 pi cc, that much of gas is going out. Okay. Then they're asking what is the radius at what rate it is decreasing after the leakage after 49 minutes. So you're talking about after 49 minutes, you have to find volume at that instant, not the initial, right? Okay. So volume initial is 4,900 pi cc. But if you want volume and T is 49 minutes, it is 4,900 pi minus 72 pi into 49. Per minute, this much of gas is going out. In 49 minutes, this much. So when I simplify, I'll get 49 common. 100 pi or 49 pi common, it's okay. 72 pi. That is 4,500. Oh, thank you. Now I cannot take this common, right? So 72 into 49. Okay. So what is 72 into 49? If we take this as 50, it is 3,600. Remove a 49 from it. 3551. Is it correct? Okay. What is 4,500 minus 3551? 35? Oh, I have to remove 72. Yes, thank you. 3528. Okay, now it is 972 or something. Is it okay? 972. All right. Now we know volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. If r changes, v also changes, and we know dv by dt. We know dv by dt is 72 pi cc per minute. Okay. Now they gave dv by dt and they want dr by dt. Just simply differentiate with respect to time. dv by dt is 4 by 3 pi into 3r square into dr by dt. This will get cancelled. This is 72 pi. This is 4 into pi into what is the present radius? I should be able to find out, right? Yeah. So equate this to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Let us see what is r will come. Pi and pi will cancel at multiply 3 and divide with 4. So r cube is 972 into 3 by 4. How much is that? Total including 3, 729. Okay. R cube is 729. Is it 9 cube? Huh? Okay. So r cube is 9 cube means the present radius is 9. So you have to write 9 square here into dr by dt, which we need to find. So pi will cancel. 1 9 will cancel with the 8 and then it will give 2 by 9. So mainly finding the present volume and finding the present radius. That's what important while reading the question. All right. Okay, sixth question, quite similar, but they gave volume dv by dt of a sphere is 35 cc per minute. And they wanted to know what is the rate of change of surface area. ds by dt is how much? and the present diameter is 14 centimeters. Diameter is 14, radius is 7 centimeters. Okay. So actually from dv by dt, I have to find dr by dt and then put it in this. Okay. So volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. dv by dt is 4 pi r square into dr by dt. This is 35. This is 7 square. We'll get dr by dt. So dr by dt is 7 5 by 28 pi. So this is dr by dt. Now we have to find ds by dt. S is 4 pi r square for a sphere surface area. If you want ds by dt, it is 8 pi r into dr by dt. 8 into pi into radius is 7 and dr by dt is 5 by 28 pi. Okay, now substitute what we know. This is 35, 4 into pi into 7 square into dr by dt. No, sorry, they want ds. Sorry, that is, sorry. Oh, yeah, I substituted. I have to just simplify this. 7 fourths and 4 twos, and it is simply 10. Okay. 10, what should I say? Cc square per minute. Not cc, centimeter square per minute. Okay, so they give diameter, from that you will find radius. They give dv by dt, from that you find dr by dt, and then substitute. For a sphere, you know volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube and surface area is 4 pi r square. Rate of change is an easy topic. I don't say every year they'll give question, but rate of change, tangents, normals put together, you will get a question. Not saying what I mean is not every year, not every paper you might find a question from this topic. All right. Two ships A and B are sailing straight away from a fixed point O along the route such that angle AOP is 120. Okay. So one is going like this and one is going like this. This angle is 120. Maybe this is O, somewhere A, somewhere B. Okay. Right now OA is 8 and OB is 6. And this is traveling at the rate of 20 kilometers per hour. This is traveling with 30 kilometers per hour. The distance between A and B is changing at what rate? Okay, fine. So this is a point. Imagine like we have two crossroads or whatever it is. There's a vehicle or whatever, ship or something. This distance is 8 kilometers. This distance 6, and from there it is going away with a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. From here it is going away with a 30 kilometers per hour. As they are going away, the distance between them is increasing. Okay. So at what rate the distance is increasing? They're asking that. Okay. So you can use cosine rule, that is easier. If you call this as L and this as X and this as Y, don't substitute 8 and 6 now. L is variable, X is variable, Y is variable, and but we know right now X is 8 and the dx by dt is 20 kilometers per hour. Right now Y is 6 and dy by dt is 30 kilometers per hour. But even though these two are fixed, X and Y are changing, they are not fixed. Right now they are 8 and 6. So L square is equal to, according to cosine rule, x square plus y square minus 2 into x into y into cos 120. In any triangle, a square equal to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos c. That is x square plus y square plus xy, because cos 120 is minus of. Now differentiate it. 2L dl by dt is equal to 2x dx by dt plus 2y dy by dt plus x dy by dt plus y dx by dt. Just substitute whatever you know. We don't know L, but we have to find it. Right now L will be 8 square plus 6 square, 2 into 8 into 6 into cos 120. This is 10 square and this is plus 48. So L is root 148. So 2 into 2 I can cancel. No, I cannot cancel. The answer should have some root 148 or something. 148 is how much? Is it a multiple of some 37 or something? 4 times 37. Okay. L itself is 2 root 37. dl by dt is I have to find. Coming to this, 2 into x is 8 and dx by dt is 20. 2 into y is 6 into 30. And this is x is 8 and dy by dt is 30. And this is y is 6 and dx by dt is 20. Okay. This is 320. This is 360. This is 240. This is 120. Okay. This is 360, 360, 720, 1080. So dl by dt is 1080 by 4 root 37. 1080 when I remove it is 540. Is 1040. So 260 by root 37. Okay. Okay, so first of all, main point is you have to read the question and understand what are the quantities which are given and what are the quantity which is varying, what is the formula between them, and then just simply differentiate and substitute them. Sometimes like here L is not given at this instant, you have to find L. Of course, I can take L as square root of this and write 1 by 2 root also, then I don't need to find, but ultimately same.
Five and 7. College apply చేయడానికి details వస్తారా? లేదు.
Those are offline. How many of you not applied for mains? Raise your hand. Not yet applied. All of you applied here. That's good. Okay.
5 students ఉన్నారు. వాళ్ళు ముందే చేస్తారు.
Those are right now here. How many of you applied for all the 4 slots? Okay. All right. Okay, 12th one. Somehow all questions coming up spheres here, but it's okay. A spherical iron ball of radius is coated with a layer of ice of uniform thickness. Okay, we have an iron ball whose radius is 10. On top of that, there is some thickness T of ice. This whole thing is ice. And that ice is melting. Okay. At the rate of 50 centimeter per minute. When the thickness of the ice is 5, the rate at which the thickness of the ice decreases is. Okay, fine. They are asking at what rate this T is decreasing when T is 5. Okay. So volume here, I can take from here to here itself as a radius and treat it. Remove the iron ball and put everything ice also, it is not going to affect our question anyway. Okay. You can directly take this a sphere made of ice with a radius 10 plus T together as R. And dV by dt is still same. dr by dt is still same because whether you take, let us say instead of T, you call it as x. And write radius as 10 plus x. Okay. dr by dt is exactly same as dx by dt. Differentiated. Derivative of 10 is 0. Okay, so you can treat either way. One way to do this will be what is the volume of the ice alone? Somebody wants. It is 4 by 3 pi 10 plus x whole cube minus 4 by 3 pi 10 cube. Because ice is only in this annular region kind of thing. The total volume radius is 10 plus x. From that, the volume of the iron sphere is this. But when I differentiate, this derivative will be 0. It doesn't matter. Okay. And what is given is right now x is 5 and dV by dt is given as 50 cc per minute. Okay. When I differentiate dV by dt equal to 4 by 3 pi, derivative of this is 3 into 10 plus x whole square into derivative inner part is derivative of 10 is this dx by dt. This derivative is 0. dV by dt is 50. 4 by 3 pi, that is 4 pi into 10 plus 5 whole square into dx by dt. That's it. This is 225. Go with 225 and cancel 2 pi by 25 by 2 pi. 2 by 50 pi. 1 by 50 pi. Sorry. Two 225, 125 cancel 2 this. 224, 450, 900. Let me come 9 will come. Yeah, this is 1 by 9 pi. 9 pi or 18 pi, sorry. 225, 450, 900, 50 into 80. Two, 3, 3. Okay, sorry. So what is this rate of change of exocentimeter per minute? Okay. If you have problem with this, I already said you can imagine the whole thing is ice, no problem at all. Then you simply take right now radius is 15, dv by dt is 50, and dr by dt is what? And simply take volume equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Same thing will come. dv by dt is 4 pi r square dr by dt. dv by dt is 50. This is 4 into pi into 15 whole square into dr by dt. You'll get same answer. Somebody can do like this also. You can do like this. Is it okay? I'm not reading the question fully because question is there with you. I thought you are reading on your own. I want to discuss even one or two more questions. At least 10 and 13 I want to discuss. So I'll discuss 13 and then go back to 10. Then I'll discuss about some theory related to tangents and normals. Okay, 13. A 2 meters ladder leans against a vertical wall. Okay. This is 2 meters ladder. This is a floor and this is a wall. It's leaning against it. If the top of the ladder begins to slide down, okay, so this point is coming down with a speed of 25 centimeters per second. At which the bottom of the ladder slides away from the wall on the horizontal and the top of the ladder is 1 meter. Okay. This is exactly 1 meter at a particular instant. Okay, fine. So they wanted to know this is going away with what speed. Okay, so I'm going to take this 1 meter later. I'm going to call this as y and this as x. Okay, so what is given to us is x square plus y square is equal to 2 square. And dx by dt is 25 centimeter, dy by dt is minus 25 centimeter per second. Why minus? Because y is decreasing. And the question is dx by dt is what? With what rate this is increasing or going away? Okay. We can do this question in different ways. One is obviously the given x square plus y square equal to 2 square. You can differentiate it. 2x dx by dt plus 2y dy by dt is equal to 0. I can cancel 2 and I want to find dx by dt. This is minus y dy by dt by x. Right now, what is y? 1 meter given. What is x? Square root of 2 square minus 1 square. It will be root 3. Okay. Where is given here? Y equal to 1, I should write. Y equal to 1 given means x is equal to root 3. And to dy by dt is minus 25. So plus 25 by root 3 centimeter per second. I'm sure in physics also something like this will be not exactly this, even more complicated we'll be doing. Okay. Anyway, there are a lot of questions on length constraint. Okay, in physics, right? They all will actually they'll take the length constraint equation and differentiate it. We'll get a relation between the velocities. Differentiate one more time, we'll get relation between accelerations and all that, right? Okay. I want to tell two other methods for this. Okay, may not be nice or not, but at least I'll tell a different method. I'm going to take this velocity as v, this angle as theta. Okay. According to your physics, is a rigid body. A ladder is a rigid body. If you take any two parts, the rigid body moving may be moving whatever way it is. Okay, it may be sliding or it may be rotating. Okay, it may have translation motion, rotationary motion, whatever it is. You take two particles on the rigid body, there cannot be any relative motion between them. Rigid means what? The distance between any two particles on the body will never change. Okay, right? So now, if you take this and take the component of its velocity along the rigid body, take this and find component of this along the rigid body. Okay, this I'm splitting into two components. Okay, one is like this, one is like this. This is one is like this, one is like this. This can be different, this can be different because it can be rotated. But along the rigid body, these two particles cannot have any other velocity. They should have same speed. If this and this are different, that means the body is stretching, and or maybe this is more and this is less. The body is compressing, right? Now, what are the component of this 25 along the rigid body? Okay, where is that? This is the 25. It will be 25 cos theta, right? Coming to this, this is theta, this is 90 minus theta, so this is also 90 minus theta. If v is the velocity, the component of this along this is v cos 90 minus theta. They should be same. Okay. I want v. It will be 25 into cos theta by sin theta cot theta. And from the figure, this is 1, this is root 3. What is cot theta? Adjacent side is 1, hypotenuse root 3, 1 by root 3. So 25 into 1 by root 3, which is 25 by root 3. Okay. You can also do like that. I've seen some question like this in physics books. Not even angle is 90. Sometimes they may tell like this, and there's an inclined plane like this, and some other rod is sliding. This angle is some 120. They can give this distance, and give this velocity, and ask what is this velocity. Okay. Okay, so this is method 2. Okay. Another method in physics. Anybody heard of ICR anytime? ICR. Instantaneous center of rotation. Anybody heard that? Instantaneous center of rotation. No? When a rigid body, it has both translation and rotational motion. Okay. Every time you can imagine that there is a point about which the body is rotating. But what is that point keeps changing. Okay. One time it will be revolving about one point, another time it is revolving at another point. The point keeps changing. But right now, what is the center of rotation about which it is rotating? I can identify. Why? If this one has a velocity like this, and it is actually rotating about a particle, definitely that particle should be on this, because if something is doing a circular motion, the radius and the velocity should be perpendicular, right? Okay. So somewhere on this line, the center should be there. Similarly, this is going like this, means somewhere on this line, the center should be there. So at this instant, you can imagine the whole rod is actually revolving about this. That's why this has a velocity like this has a velocity like this. So this is called ICR, instantaneous center of rotation. After it slides little more, again the ICR will be here. So ICR is changing. Okay. Now why I am using this? I know this length is 1, this is √3, so this is 1 and this is √3. About this, if the whole thing is rotating, the omega should not change, because about this, at this instant, you take any particle, the angle of rotation should be same, rigid body after all. Okay. So I know velocity here and I know radius here. What is the velocity here? 25. So what is the omega? V by R. According to this, it should be 25 by √3. Right? If this is V and this is 1, velocity is V, radius 1, that should be V by 1. Then V equal to 25 by √3. Right? You can also do like this. So not only we can use maths and physics, we can use the other way. We can use physics and maths also. All right? I did not notice that carefully. Look at first question and 12th question. And one is given in 2005 and one is given in 2019. Answer is same, question is same. The option numbers might have changed, the other option. Non-correct option, they changed the numbers. Okay, I want to discuss about 11th, because either 10 or 11, because at least about a cone we should do one of the questions. I want to discuss 11. Okay, a water tank has the shape of an inverted cone. this angle alpha is given as tan inverse 1 by 2. Water is poured at a constant rate of 5. So dV by dt is 5 cc per minute. The rate at which, not cc, cubic meter, meter cube per minute. The rate at which the level of water is rising at the instant when the depth of water in the tank is 10 meters. Okay, so let us say water is up to here. I'll take this as h and this as r, and this as alpha. I already know tan alpha is r by h, but r is tan alpha is 1 by 2 given, r by h. So I can write r as h by 2. All right. Now, right now the h value is 10. Now they want what the dh by dt. That is the question. Okay. Normally volume formula is 1/3 pi r square h. But you have to convert the formula only in terms of height. So 1/3 pi in the place of radius, I can write h by 2. So 1/3 into 1 by 4 into pi h cube. Okay. Now when you differentiate dV by dt, 1 by 3 into 1 by 4 into pi into 3h square into dh by dt. 3 and 3 will cancel. What is dV by dt? 5. Pi. What is h? 10. 10 square into dh by dt. So dh by dt, this will become 25, 1 by 5 pi. Meter per minute. Okay. So other questions in rate of change you can try. Up to 14, all are about rate of change. 15 onwards, it is tangents and normals. Let me discuss something about tangents and normals, and then we'll do some questions. Okay, already completed this? Okay. If I take any curve, a tangent definition is not that for a line and a curve, if there is only one point common, it is tangent. For example, if I draw a line, this curve and this line have only one point in common, no? Is it tangent to the curve? No. Okay, so that is not the definition. Look at this. So this is P and this is Q. Is this line tangent to this curve at P? Yes. But is the line and curve are having only one point of intersection? No. Okay. So it is wrong to say that if a line and curve have only one point in common, it is tangent. In fact, when it has one point common, it's not a tangent. I showed you one example. And when it has more than one point of intersection, also still it is tangent. So then what you mean by tangent? That way at a point you have to talk about. So basically, without talking about derivative, you cannot talk about tangent or vice versa. Why? If I take some P here and I want to know what is the tangent at P, you take Q somewhere. This is a chord. If Q is here, 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 this is a chord. As Q is approaching P, this line PQ or chord PQ is turning, and finally it is approaching one line. Okay, that line is called a tangent. The limiting case of chord PQ as Q approaches P. I can even write limit Q tends to P, PQ line is equal to the tangent line. Okay, so now why it has close connection with differentiation? If I take this point as some a comma f of a, all right, this point is some x comma f of x, and this curve is y equal to f of x. What is the slope of PQ? F of x minus f of a by x minus a, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. As this point is approaching this, I have to write limit x tends to a, and that should be the slope of tangent. The slope of tangent is nothing but this one, which is f dash a, right? Okay, so at any point, the slope of the tangent will be derivative at that point. And once you know slope and you know point, you can find equation of the tangent, because we have this formula y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. Here m is dy by dx at x1 comma y1. That's all. If somebody wants normal, it will be perpendicular to the tangent. If tangent has this slope, normal will be perpendicular to that. If this slope is m, this slope is minus 1 by m. So minus 1 by dy by dx at x1 comma y1 into x minus x1. This is a formula for equation of tangent. This is a formula for equation of normal to any curve at a particular point. Okay. Now, sometimes they give a curve, they give a point on the curve and ask tangent or normal. You can use this formula. But sometimes they'll ask some other way. They'll give a point outside the curve, and they say find equation of tangents through that point, through this curve. Then not that you will find dy by dx and substitute this point. That is meaningless. This is not a point. Let us they give how many tangents to this curve are passing through 2 comma 5 and what are they? Don't find dy by dx to this curve and substitute 2 comma 5. That will be completely wrong. Okay. Then what is that you have to do? You have to assume this point is some x1 comma y1 and or x1 comma f of x1, and take y minus y1 equal to f dash x1 into x minus x1, and this is also f of x1. This is the equation of tangent, and we don't even know x1. We have to find. But in the place of x and y, you can substitute 2 and 5. Because 2 comma 5 should satisfy this equation. Then you will get some quadratic or cubic equation x1, and you will be able to find x1. When the point is outside the curve, they ask find the tangents through that point, not tangent at that point. Tangent through that point. Where it is touching, you don't know. You have to assume that, find the general tangent, substitute the 2 comma 5 and or whatever it is, and you have to find the tangent. Then next topic is they can ask angle between two curves. Angle between two curves, the definition is nothing but angle between the tangents. Okay. So first of all, you have to find point of intersection. Whenever they want angle between the curves, first you have to find where they are intersecting. At that point, you find tangent to the first curve, tangent to the second curve. That is dy by dx to the first curve, which is slope of tangent to the first one, dy by dx to the second curve. If you call this as m1 and this as m2, if you want to find angle between them, tan theta equal to mod m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. In 2D geometry, we have that, right? So we'll use that. So find dy by dx to both the curves, substitute the given point, we'll get slope of the tangent, both call m1 m2, and then use tan theta equal to mod m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. We also have something subtangent subnormal. In mains, they did not ask that much. They may ask in differential equations, other chapters, but just to cover that, if you have a curve like this and this is tangent here and this is a normal here, if the tangent is meeting x-axis at t and the normal is meeting x-axis at n, and the foot of p on the x-axis s, pt length is called length of tangent, pn length is called length of normal. The projection of pt on x-axis, which is st, The shadow of this on this is subtangent. The projection of the normal on x-axis subnormal. Okay, these are the four lengths. We know the y coordinate of this point and we know x coordinate also. And if you take this is theta, we know tan theta is slope of tangent as dy by dx at that point. Okay. Once you know theta and y, if you want any length from the figure only you can tell. And another thing is this is 90. This is theta. This is 90 minus theta. This is theta. Okay. So you take y tan theta, y cot theta, y secant theta, y cosecant theta. You get different lengths. In the place of tan theta, you write dy by dx. In the place of cot theta, you write 1 by dy by dx. Based on that, you have the four formulas. Okay. I don't want to state the formulas. You can see in the synopsis. But how they are derived, I'm giving idea. So that even if you forget, you can derive anytime you want. Okay. If this is y and this is theta, obviously, is it y tan theta? This one. So subnormal is y tan theta, which is y into dy by dx. This is if you take tan theta, you'll get y by this. So it is y by tan theta, y cot theta. So that is y by dy by dx. Because this is theta, I think this is y by cos theta or y secant theta. Secant theta you can write root over 1 plus tan square theta. So length of normal is y into 1 plus dy by dx whole square. Yeah, this is y and this is theta. So I have to take sine. So it will be y by sine theta or y cosecant theta. I have to write root over 1 plus cot square theta and substitute cot as 1 by dy by dx. That will give you y into root over 1 plus dy by dx whole square by another dy by dx. Okay, that is length of tangent. So we have the four formulas. That's all. These are the three. Even in IP, if you remember first year, we have only three exercises. One is about finding tangent, normal, slope of tangent, normal, normal. Another one is finding about angle between the curves. Another one is finding about subtangent, subnormal. Okay. This is also not a difficult topic. As we do questions, you'll just get a general idea about how to approach. Okay, we'll continue multiples of 3 as usual. From I have to discuss 15, 18, and 20, and all these things. So just try 15. Just a minute. Oh, time is almost up. Okay, before I forget, last class I said this. If you have been trying sincerely, don't worry about the marks. Okay, miss, I'm working so much, but I am not getting the marks or how to improve. Okay, there's no magic formula. It's not that there is some medicine you take it and suddenly your marks will improve or some memory will improve. Okay, so the only thing is you have to continue doing hard work. So don't be discouraged. Okay, maths papers are, I can say I agree, they're tough, but JEE Mains is also tough. Not all that are easy. Okay. Both this recent paper and the previous paper also, many questions are given in the similar lines to the recent JEE Mains papers, especially 2020 and all that. Okay, and NTA Abhyas has 100 odd papers. Okay, that also gives you an idea what is the level of JEE Mains papers, because they were created by the same board who is going to prepare your JEE Mains papers. Okay, all right. So in the similar lines to all these things, questions were given, and some questions you may find lengthy, some questions you may find difficult. Some questions they may be difficult to get idea, but some questions are also easy, right? All that is there. Okay. After exam, you may realize some things how to do easily, but some questions solution also you may not understand 1 or 2 times. Okay. We'll explain tomorrow if you have any doubts, but don't be discouraged. Continue, try. Not that by giving up you achieve anything. I said you have a lot more exams to come, and you are going to write this 4 times. First round increase to some level, and next round you can improve to some more level like that. As I said, another thing, don't cheat. Okay, sometimes when looking at few students, I feel quite scared. Okay, for a simple exam which nobody cares. Okay, they are cheating here. Then tomorrow they are going to be in responsible position. What kind of cheating they will do? Okay, I have to live in the society where these people are living. It's quite scary. Just say class exam, and nobody even bothers. Okay, that who is in the leaderboard of 5th position, 10th position, and all that. For that also people are simply cheating. Okay, imagine what will happen. Okay, all right. Okay, just try tangents and normals questions, 15th one and 18th one. Okay. All right. Huh? 23rd, you said? 23rd. I'll look at it. Don't waste time. I did not say close the math book. I said try 15th question and 18th question. Is it not? Bell is over or what? Oh, bell is over. Okay.